Hi, welcome to the Niels Homestead, and today we're working at cutting those two giant trees that were in front of the house that we've been working on. One of them was completely dead and the other one was partially dead, and I was worried about them falling on the house. So we decided to hire a tree trimmer who has expertise in getting them cut down to the ground safely, and he has insurance in case anything goes bad with it. I could have probably done it, but I figured it was worth paying someone to cut out the risk and the danger of doing it myself. But I only paid the guy to cut it down, which left me with this giant tangled mess of tree that I need to come in and clean up. So I brought my saw and got some gas. I went through a couple gallons doing all this and decided to just start chopping some stuff up. Some of the wood was already blocked up about the right length because as he cut it down, he needed to drop it in chunks that were safe to drop. So I didn't have to cut up everything. But whenever you have a big pile like this, you kind of just got to start with what you can reach and just start cutting it and throwing it out of the way and moving it so you can get to other things and bigger things. This was the main trunk of this big tree, and I had to figure out how to get it cut up. I was measuring the length of where I wanted to start. That's about 3 blocks worth there. And then I cut around it. I realized as I got into this a little bit that I dulled my saw on one side and not the other side, and so my saw wasn't cutting real straight. It was still cutting fairly fast, but it wasn't cutting straight at all, so I had to try to get it broken apart since the thing, so I chopped it and it snapped right apart. I had to get this log broken apart, and whenever I did, I could tell that my saw was really not sharp on one side, and I had to take a break and sharpen the chain up. I wanted to go check out the other side, the other tree, and there was a giant pile of log there. This big log is hollow in the middle. This tree was larger than the other one, but it had been dead longer, so some of the smaller stuff had fallen off and we'd already cleared it. The fallen tree had fallen on the sidewalk, which is a public sidewalk, and I wanted to get all the branches and everything off of it, so I worked at clearing it first so that people could walk there safely. Figuring out how to cut a big log like this is always a challenge because it can roll and it can catch you. But I decided to cut up all the smaller stuff, clear it out of the way first. It's a big tangled mess as well though, and a lot of work to be done. As I cut things apart, I often have to use my splitting axe to break them apart, even though I'm not actually splitting the wood, just because this ash is a really it doesn't split well. It doesn't come apart as easily as oak and many other woods. This log was tough. I had to break chunks off of it to get it to come apart good. Look at this log. I don't know if you can see under the bark there. It has all these insect marks that look like ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs or something. It was pretty cool looking. It was all over this tree. I don't know if that's what killed it or not, but it was really neat. I asked my wife to back up a little bit because this one was about ready to break a big chunk off, and you never really know what's going to happen with a big log like this. It can go any way. This one broke off pretty cleanly and nothing too unexpected happened. I needed to get everything I could cut it up because my family is supposed to come the next day and help me clean up all of the brush and the logs and everything. My chainsaw is cutting much straighter now. I was able to cut these right in two and pretty much make my lines meet. I think I would have cut curlicues out of it before I sharpened it. Next video, watch out, we'll be bringing my family in to help clean up this big mess of tree. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.